From WMHS, this is a special edition of Monticello Today, Skipping School, with Michael Comer and Lauren Drake, live from the courtyard and the studio at MHS.
Good morning and welcome to a very split edition of Monticello Today. I'm Michael outside in the courtyard.
And I'm Lauren in the studio.
In the courtyard, I'm joined by not one but two administrators, Dr. Turner and Mr. Bonham, who are here because there's no better time to remind everyone of the rules and consequences that come along with skipping than the fresh start that comes at the start of the second semester.
That's right. So to get the message across, Dr. Costa is going to give everyone a review of the rules, and Dr. Turner is going to hit the road for a special edition of Turner Time.
First, though, Lauren in the studio has a check of your top announcements.
Okay. ASVAB testing will take place on Wednesday, February 13th at 9:40 in the Red Lab. You must sign up outside of P105 by Friday, February 8th if you intend on testing on the 13th. See Ms. Neal if you have any questions. Be sure to stop by Monticello tonight to see the student-run Shakespeare production, The Merry Wives of Windsor. This production of one of Shakespeare's greatest comedies is entirely directed, acted, and ran by the students. The play can be seen tonight at 7:30, Saturday at 7:30, and Sunday at 2:30. Tickets will be sold at every lunch today, and there is a $2 discount for tickets bought in advance. To reserve tickets, you can email mhsshakespeare@gmail.com. Finally, from the news desk this morning, the MHS Creative Writing class is pleased to announce that Inkspire, the online literary magazine, is now online. Check it out at cwlitmag.tumblr.com or follow the link on the MHS homepage. And now let's head back to the courtyard where Michael is standing by with more.
Thanks, Lauren. And as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Bonham has joined us this morning, and he is here to talk about the rules and regulations regarding skipping. Now, they're all laid out in your planner, but he's going to highlight some kind of key parts of the rules that we have here at Monticello.
Yeah, I just wanted to focus in on a couple, and I'm sure most students know this by now, even those who have just only been here for half a year at Monticello as freshmen. But the reality is we take attendance at all our periods throughout the day, including the beginning part of the day with the mentorship and the Mustang mornings. But obviously students are expected to be in class, and we know that when a student's not marked as being present, there's a process that goes through with our attendance. And then what will happen is if there's no verification, say from home, in regards to a student being out, then we end up having attendance follow up with the parent or the student, and obviously that comes back to us as administrators to follow up. So, the reality is, most of all our students do the right thing, go to classes, and there aren't issues. But we certainly have some times when students maybe aren't where they're supposed to be, and when that time happens, we usually find out by attendance.
Okay, so a lot of people think or have it in their minds that they can, sneak out the purple doors, or that they won't get caught, or that the system's easy to beat. But in reality, kind of what are the consequences? And then touch on kind of the rules of the purple door, because I think it's a little unclear to people.
Sure. We realize that for the student parking that's located, the easiest way to get out is obviously through the purple doors. And for students who have research or study hall or have legitimate reasons why they're leaving, that seems to be an easy exit because it is the shortest distance between 2 points. But for our perspective, we've asked that we all have our students when they are leaving, for a legitimate reason, obviously throughout the course of the day, that they leave through the main entrance. And obviously for those who have study hall and research, there is a requirement to sign out. And the reason obviously is for security and safety of the building, make sure we're not propping up the doors and so forth. And I obviously applaud the students over the last several weeks, certainly to abide by that more so maybe than we started with the first of the year. But it is important that we do have a main entrance that students come in and out, and that's where attendance is in the main office. And we ask that students still abide by those procedures and policies that we have in place.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Bonham. We're actually going to take a break from the skipping topic now and go back into the studio where Thomas has your sports report.
Good morning, I'm Thomas, and welcome to this edition of the Monticello Sports Report. I'm happy to announce that the girls basketball team knocked off Cross County rival and top district contender Western Albemarle. Last night's game came down to the wire and was, without a doubt, one of the smallest margins of victory for the Lady Mustangs this season. The final score was 45-43, and the win improved the team's record to 8-0 in the district. Now let's talk boys basketball. The team will travel to Crozet to take on the Western Warriors tonight at 7:30. The Maniac theme for the evening is jorts, also known as jean shorts, and white tank tops. The Maniac leaders are expecting a strong showing of MHS students, so work out all of your travel plans today and head out to Western tonight to watch the boys basketball team beat the Warriors for the second time this season. That wraps up this sports report. Up next, Michael has more from the courtyard.
Okay, the paramount of this broadcast has arrived. I'm now joined by Dr. Turner, who has taped a very special edition of Turner Time earlier in the week. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's in store, Dr. Turner?
Well, first I'd like to say good morning to the staff and students and welcome to Turner Time. It's been a long 2 weeks without having Turner Time. And with the start of the second semester, I thought I would do something to really address attendance. As usual, we're having issues with skipping. And I thought that maybe I would take a little trip around to some of the hot spots, some of the areas that I know that our young people like to frequent when they're supposed to be in school.
All right, so without further ado, here's this week's Turner Time.
Welcome to Turner Time. Hey, listen, I want you all to follow me. We're going to take a little field trip. Listen, I realize that there are some hot spots in terms of places where the students like to go when they should be in school. And I'm going to go investigate one of these spots. So why don't you all come along with me? Well, as you all can see, we're in the Food Line parking lot. Obviously, not only is Food Line here, but Subway and the Chinese restaurant is around the corner. Now, I know that many of you all do not want to eat lunch at school. You don't want to stay at school for a certain period. But listen, skipping school becomes an issue. It becomes a major issue with your attendance. It can impact whether or not you pass a class. And as you all know, in high school, you have to earn credits in order to graduate. So when you don't pass classes, you're not earning credits, and you're putting yourself in a position to potentially not be able to graduate on time. So let's try to not frequent these places every day or whenever you feel like it. Or definitely, let's not come up here when you're supposed to be in class. If you have a release, or for study hall or leadership or internship, then you may have a second period release. So that means you can leave the building. And if you're here at Food Line or one of the restaurants, well, you're allowed to leave the building. But if you don't have a situation like that, then you should be at school every day, all day. And I want you all to make some better choices because obviously you have an obligation to be a student. So let's try to be in school when we're supposed to be there. Okay, students, welcome back. I thought I'd come around the corner and talk about the Hong Kong restaurant. I know that many of you all really enjoy coming here. In fact, they even have a student special, which many of you all like to take advantage of. I don't mind that you take advantage of the student special, but I don't want you taking advantage of the student special when you're supposed to be in school or in class. Our cafeteria has great food. In fact, I may even talk to the cafeteria to see if they can fix some Chinese food once for you all. But do not come up here during the day, during school, to eat at the Hong Kong restaurant. Okay, welcome back. As you all can see, I have 3 guests here who are actually getting ready to go into Subway But the difference between these 3 young people and some of our other students is that they actually haven't released this period. So they can be out of the building, and if they choose to get lunch while they're gone, then it's okay. So there are ways to be able to get out and actually go somewhere and have lunch, but you gotta have a legitimate release, and you have to be legit like these 3 young people. Okay, people, this is our final stop, and as most of you all know, this is the market. Many of you all like to come here if you want to get a sandwich, but what I don't understand is why do you want to come to the market to get a sandwich when we have wraps and sandwiches at Monticello High School? You can get a sandwich or a wrap right there. So hey, there's no need to come up here. You can stay right at school and get everything you need. Okay, people, we're back at Monticello High School, and I just wanted to thank you all for paying attention to this edition of Turner Time and listening to my message. Again, just a quick takeaway. Obviously, if you have the proper credentials to be on a release, then you're able to go out to lunch if your release is during second period, or if you're coming back from UVA or something of that nature due to your release. But if you do not have the proper paperwork to be on a release, please try to stay in school. Again, it's really about safety. Thank you.
And with that special edition of Turner Time, this broadcast of Monticello Today comes to a close. Have a great day, everyone.